It's my pleasure to introduce to our Board of Education and to our community members this evening our district goals for 2018 and 19. These are here for board approval this evening. Our leadership team had an opportunity to not only review these, but add to them late in the summer at a leadership retreat. Our board members have seen these over the past week or so and also had an opportunity to ask questions and to add additional thoughts. Certainly there is still time for that this evening, but what I wanted to do was to present what we will be working on this year throughout our schools. The district goals are not standalone district goals. These are framed off of our strategic planning goals, which are these. And the strategic planning goals, just for people's memory, are really framed across three key areas. The first one dealing with student achievement, that our district will create an innovative and rigorous educational experience in a borderless learning community that produces creative students who are problem solvers and self-directed individuals. So you'll see as I go through our charts, we have a series of goals that will pertain directly to that single goal. Strategic goal number 2, all students will receive social and emotional support to become adaptable, confident citizens who embody self-awareness and strong interpersonal skills, capable of responsible decision-making and managing their emotions and behaviors. This is largely going to look like social and emotional learning or student leadership opportunities under goal number 2. And for strategic goal number 3, our community of adult learners will be fully engaged in professional growth experiences which enable them to continuously hone their craft and maximize student achievement. So let's take a look at our district goals under strategic goal number 1. As I explained to our board members when our strategic planning committees addressed the board late last winter, what we do as a school community now is we take each of those 3 very critical strategic planning goals and we develop annual district goals within there. And that's how you keep that work moving forward. There are some organizations that write up beautiful strategic planning goals and it goes into a notebook and it sits on a shelf and nothing happens with it. With us crafting annual district goals that stem back up to the strategic planning goals, the work is not forgotten, the work is transparent, and it grows and it deepens each year. So for this current school year, under that goal of providing innovative and rigorous opportunities for our students, borderless learning communities, we are working on the following. We're implementing, we have a number of district curriculum committees in place right now. That work will continue this year, and all of that will result in enriched and rewritten curriculum documents and often new courses. And Dr. Giganti explained that we already this year implemented a brand new English language and composition advanced placement class. We also have a new coding class being offered at our middle school. We have robotics being offered at our high school, and we have an elite business course called Virtual Enterprise being offered at our high school. So under work with implementing district curriculum committees with regard to literacy and social studies, there's a good deal of advanced coursework that will happen there. We're looking to explore online learning opportunities for our high school students. Brand new this year, high schoolers who are taking the personal finance course, and personal finance is a requirement for high school graduation. That's a state requirement. It's not a Parsippany choice. It's a state requirement. That typically is a 1-semester course for most students. We offered families the opportunity, if students wanted to take that course online, we provided 2 online organizations through which students could take the personal finance course if they wished. We'd like to explore those opportunities even further and see if there are other courses that we might open up for our students so that they can gain some experience in online learning. Certainly, for many of us who have done graduate work or doctoral level work, there are more and more online learning opportunities available, and for our students to be able to have those experiences while they're still in high school, while they're still being helped by marvelous teachers and parents who care about them is a smart thing. We are looking to implement something called a Genius Hour in some of our high school classes. This is really an opportunity for our students to design projects that are of particular appeal to them, of particular passion to them so that they can conduct research in an area that really excites and interests them. In particular, at our high school, many of the AP classes, which have their final culminating exam, the AP test, in mid to late May, often there are a few weeks left where there may be time within those classes, if the teacher and the students are interested in that, to pursue Genius Hour work, where it can really be a self-designed project and students have the opportunity to really delve into something that is particularly curious and interesting to them. We're looking to, first of all, make sure that our one-to-one initiative in our high schools is going well and is successful, and then taking those experiences and talking next about what's the next step. If we look to implement in middle school, what might that look like? Can we afford it? And is it cost effective? Is it cost prohibitive? So it's not a promise, but it is something that we want to certainly investigate very carefully as we're looking to make a recommendation to our board. We're looking to increase STEM, which is science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, into all of our grade levels, to expand elective offerings at our middle school, to enrich our world language experiences, kindergarten through 8th grade. In particular, Mrs. Santana, who is our world languages supervisor, will be exploring what world language is looking like at the elementary level in some of our surrounding school districts. We are also committed after this year to making 6th grade world language be a full year class. Currently, if you're a 6th grader in either of our middle schools, you're taking a semester only of a world language. And I just think that's a missed opportunity. We'd like a full year at 6th grade and 7th and 8th. And I think that helps us have freshmen entering high school more proficient and stronger in a language choice. There's also the opportunity, again, through a lot more discussion and a lot more investigation, to look at the 3 current language studies that we offer and to see if there's interest in adding another language. And I don't know what that other language would be, but we do want to engage in those discussions. We have a district curriculum committee focusing on mathematics. I have already begun conversations with the County College of Morris about exploring dual enrollment, whereby students would be taking courses on our high school campuses, not leaving our campus, but also gaining county college credit for perhaps an English course or an Algebra 2 course. And we're at the very beginning stages of those conversations. Raritan Valley Community College has a very similar program that they offer to several Somerset County high schools. And so there are models already out there of county colleges that do this. And then finally, number 9 up there is to enrich opportunities in music education for our students. We've heard our student representatives speak about marching band competition. This is the season for marching band competition. It's a great time of year. So not only to continue to do the very fine work that we have in music instruction and vocal music in our elementary, middle, and high schools, but we are also looking to implement a strings program at our elementary level. And again, are doing a great deal of studying just to see what that would entail as far as staffing, as far as how we communicate that out to families. But I think that's a really exciting opportunity for us. Under goal number 2, which I characterized shorter as our social and emotional learning, or our character education, or student advocacy goal, we are working on a number of things. Much of this already was started at the end of last school year, and so we've been really just been able to pick it up and continue. We have worked to adopt the CASTLE framework, which is a research-based practice on social and emotional decision-making skills for students. We conducted research, actually the strategic planning committee that worked under this goal already did this work last winter and spring to research and select a highly effective student social and emotional learning program. We have selected a program at the elementary level that we are now in the process of getting materials for and designing training opportunities for. So we're in a very good place as far as that goes. We will consider whether it is appropriate or not to establish a mindfulness coordinator position in district for next year. We're looking to consider what changes in scheduling may be appropriate at our 3 school levels. Certainly you've already heard our high school principals speak about the opportunity to consider a different high school schedule for September of next year, and we're continuing to work on having some practice opportunities for that and to discussing what that would look like. We're looking to provide learning opportunities for our staff members so that they can develop social and emotional skills with their students in class, to revitalize our transition programs, pre-kindergarten through college. We're very fortunate in Parsippany. There are other school communities where students have a lot more transitions, meaning that their elementary school experience might be kindergarten through 4th grade. And then they go to a different school for 5th and 6th grade, and then a different school for 7th and 8th grade, and then finally high school. And that's a lot of transitions. In Parsippany, we're really very blessed and fortunate to have pre-kindergarten through 5th grade, then a 6th, 7th, and 8th grade experience, and then high school. So it minimizes the number of transitions for students, where we want to make sure that we're articulating and making sure that the future teachers know what they need to know about the students that are heading their way. So it's an opportunity for us to continue to strengthen those transitions. One of the things we've done this year is we've departmentalized somewhat our 5th grade classes so that instead of one classroom teacher being responsible for all of the content areas in 5th grade, whether it's a 2-teacher team or a 3-teacher team, one of the teachers is handling, for example, math and science, and the other 5th grade teacher is handling language arts and social studies. One of the benefits of that for teachers is that it lessens the number of subject areas that they need to prepare for. The content in 5th grade, not just 5th grade, even lower, but in 5th grade, becomes very rigorous and sophisticated. And it's a lot for our 5th grade teachers to stay abreast of that and to plan lessons that are differentiated and rigorous and meaningful for students. So this breaks apart the content area for them. It also assists our 5th graders with, I think, a more positive transition into middle school, because our 5th graders will have practice traveling to a different room, remembering to bring certain supplies with them as they travel to a different room, starting to acknowledge that different teachers have different expectations and different teaching styles, and to be able to do that in a very loving, welcoming, comfortable elementary school setting before they get into a larger middle school, I think is a really positive experience for our students. We are interested in creating a parent university, which would help our parents and families really understand the same sort of learning that we're undergoing as staff members, to explore a one book, one school initiative, and to consider, as we move forward, how we would assess students' social and emotional learning skills so that we can begin to acknowledge growth and or needs in those areas. And finally, with goal number 3, which speaks to how we support the adult learners in our community, all of these goals really speak to designing programs that are differentiated, that allow for both initial introductory entry-level training and then opportunities for teachers to get better and stronger. For example, when we offer a lot of our technology training programs, we've begun to offer step 1 or introductory level, and then advanced or more experienced, so that somebody who's brand new to that can be sitting with people for whom it's also brand new, and then for those people who've been trying something for a while and are ready for the next step, they're with peers who also are more comfortable in those areas. Our board members know from our in-service days this past November, and also what we're planning again for this November, is that we've been really fortunate to be able to offer a lot of choices to teachers. So while there may be some areas that we require because it relates back to curriculum work or new coursework, there are also opportunities for teachers to self-select where they themselves wish to be growing, whether it's an area of technology, whether it's social and emotional learning, whether it's literacy, science, or mathematics. And I think that matters. As a teacher myself, I didn't like the being, herded into one place along with everybody else, because we're all at different places in our learning and in our development, and being able to offer different opportunities for folks to self-select, I think, is both professional and valuable. And so these are the things that we're working on this year. Board members, by the time we get to January and February, you'll hear me come back up and give a progress check on where we're at with our district goals. Again, the idea is to keep this as transparent as possible. And then at the end of the year, by late May, early June, there will be a final progress check as to where we have come with all of this. So for board members, first I'll leave it to you if there are any questions.